Normally, during this time of the year, it's dusty, cold, and dry. But currently, we should be replacing the cold with warm because it's flaming hot. And you can literally feel your skin burning under the sun. I'm not exaggerating. In this episode, I'll be exploring why it's so warm in Accra. You can literally feel your skin burning under the sun. Quick disclaimer, ladies, you should be buying waterproof makeup kits because even ACs are becoming necessities. Cars are no more luxuries. Temperatures are hitting about 32 degrees Celsius. Should we say these changes are naturally orchestrated or they are other human-induced factors? It only makes sense when we look at the discussion from the climate change perspective. Let's start with a very big question. What is climate change? The famous UN describes climate change as a long-term shift in weather patterns, be it temperature, rainfall, air pressure, and it normally comes about due to natural factors or human-induced factors. Natural factors may include volcanic eruption, geographic location. For instance, places around the equatorial regions are likely to be warmer as compared to places in the temperate regions. That aside, you also have the sun's activities and the positioning of the earth, which is likely to affect the amount of solar energy that the earth is likely to receive. Scientists have, however, argued that if there were natural factors, say for instance, the positioning of the earth and the sun's activity that is likely to affect the amount of solar energy that the earth receives, then the whole atmosphere should be warming up. For instance, the thermosphere, the mesosphere, the troposphere. Forget it. But as it stands, it's only the troposphere that is warming up. The troposphere is that part of the Earth's atmosphere that is closest to the Earth's surface. Scientists have argued that this part of the Earth's surface is warming up due to the trapping of greenhouse gases. The challenge with this whole problem is that number one, we have delayed rainfall, and even if the rain comes, we are likely to cause flooding. Now, I'm sure this is very evident in the northern part of Ghana, a place that wasn't even prone to flood. It's flood disease here. Number two, extreme temperatures. Number three, dry spills. Number four, name them. There are lots, so many disadvantages that come with climate change as a result of the trapping of greenhouse gases in the troposphere. The more breaking part of this whole discussion is that climate change does not affect every part of the continent equally, meaning some parts are likely to be more disadvantaged as compared to other areas. So what are the determining factors? What determines whether if this area will be more vulnerable to climate change as compared to another area? Places closer to the coastal regions, places closer to the tropics, places closer or places that have desert conditions are likely to be more affected to climate change as compared to other areas. Aside this, we have other motivating factors such as the socio-economic and political factors that determines how a country is going to respond to climate change vulnerability. Studies have shown that Nigeria, Kiribati, Yemen, and other UAE countries are likely to be prone to climate change as compared to other places on the continent. When we delve deeper into these countries to understand why this is so, we realize the common trend of their proximity to coastal areas, desert conditions, and other socio-political and economic factors like urbanization, pollution, and population, which brings us to the most important discussion for today. What are the human-induced factors that is making Accra so warm? Greater Accra has a population of about 5 million people. The region can boast of modern infrastructure. And I mean, the real national cake is located in Greater Accra. To benefit from various economic activity, people tend to migrate to this region. However, studies conducted shows that most of the migrants in this region are not as a result of the normal rural urban migration you and I know, but most of the migrants in this region are from neighboring countries. And when there is an expanding population not meeting an expanding infrastructure, sorry, I don't really know how to mention this word, so just enjoy it anyhow. I'm going to pronounce it. So when there is an expanding population not meeting an expanding infrastructure, it's obviously not going to end well for the region. Let's explore urbanization and understand how it contributes to this whole problem that you and I are facing today. I know this is like the fifth time I'm seeing urbanization, but it's very important and it's worth exploring. Usually, urban growth changes how we use the land surface. For instance, if government or even an individual wants to put up a building, say the National Cathedral or even your house, you would have to clear up the trees to make way for building. But the problem is that trees contribute to taking in carbon dioxide to manufacture their own food, basic science. So when there are no trees or when we are not replanting these trees back, it can really create a very huge change in the ecosystem. The skyscrapers, the five-star hotel, the fancy restaurant, the fancy buildings that you even want to put up one day. And even the building that I'm currently in right now, it's all parts of this category. But the challenge, however, is the building materials that we use for putting up this building. The problem with these building materials is that they are impervious and have high heat capacity, contributing to the surface heating that you and I are currently experiencing today in Accra, while people in northern area are experiencing the cold winters of Hamatan. I'm going to leave a link to the publication below to give you more insights on how surface heating works. When we read this publication into detail, you realize that the cement we use in building, the flooring, the roofing from the metals all contribute to the heat that you and I are currently experiencing today. I'm not sure it will get better in the future because me, as I am sitting here, I'm thinking of building my own building and moving out of my parents' house. And every youth between the ages of 20 to, if I'm not kidding, 30, it's having the same plans that I'm having. So I'm not sure it will get better in the future. But it all falls back to proper planning and development. The last thing I want to explore is pollution. I wouldn't talk or speak much into detail about this area because it's evident, from the public transport to the fashion industry to plastic pollution, name them. I did a video on how plastics contribute to climate change. The link is here. Go and watch it and gain more insights and the good practices you should be adopting at home to also reduce the impact of climate change in Accra. I've said so much about the issue and how it affects or it's creating the current heating that we are experiencing in Accra. How do we mitigate this challenge? It's not in one, neither is it in two, three, or four approaches. Sorry. It all boils down to proper planning for development, which should be a topic for another day. Until then, if you find this content very educative and then informing, kindly give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, like, comment if you have to, and also share. If you are new to this channel, hi, you're welcome. I hope you are here to stay. In fact, you're not here to stay, so what are you here to do? Like, you have to stay. Think about subscribing. Until then, bye.